Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier. Y'all, even though I have already done a year of sixth grade with my oldest, for some reason, I still feel a little nervous about my youngest starting his middle school grades. It's like my mind jumps to high school and college prep. But this quote reminds me to be in the present and to meet him where he is now. And that it's about the little things done day by day that add up to this success or preparation. So what does that look like for my rising sixth grader? What is the comprehensive sixth grade homeschool experience going to look like for him this year? For me, that's going to include things like character study, math, logic, finance, language arts, and all it encompasses, science, STEM, history, geography, nature, current events, and electives, independent studies, and passion projects, which specific to him, that's things like Spanish and coding, photography, cooking, and editing videos like the one you're watching now, and physical education as he wants to get back into basketball and swim team. And it's important to me to tailor the curriculum and resources that we use to my kiddos' interest and learning styles while trying to meet state standards because as it is now, both my boys want to attend college. So first up, let's talk about character study, which, quick side note, our bookwork curriculum is not faith-based. And I just wanted to clarify that since I got a few questions about it last time. So for character study, we like to do devotionals and mindfulness, and we use about 3 main resources, the first of which is Not Consumed, and I shared a few of the new ones that we got in my last unboxing video. So here's a look inside. We usually do this about 3 times a week together. We do a day individually in our own booklets, and then we come together to discuss and pray. For the rest of the week, he'll be reading through this 52-week devotional for boys. And I like that it's simple and has a reflection and response section on most days. So not only do we think and reflect about what we've just read, but how are we going to act on it? And I love that. The third thing we do regularly is breathing exercises and meditation. And I like using Headspace, which is the app you see now, and other apps and activities to guide us through these sessions, like these cards, which we've had for a couple of years and just keep cycling through. Now for math, if you saw my unboxing video, then you know I purchased the consumable workbook for Oak Meadow Math 6 to use with the course book we already have for my oldest 6th grade year. Well, he saw that for Oak Meadow in 8th grade, they switched to Saxon Math and that his brother would be using that and wanted to know if they had any resources for 6th grade. So I said, yeah, let's go check out some. So we went to our local homeschool store and he picked up a few different math curricula, but ultimately he decided on using Saxon. And so thankfully I had some consignment credit because it's kind of pricey and I'd already spent, money on the Oak Meadow workbook. But I am thinking this is going to be a good fit for him. Not only did he pick it out, he seems really excited to be more independent with his work, which is great for both of us. And I think this is going to support him, especially as we're going to be using Nicole the Math Lady online, which he is looking forward to using. So I have to say thank you for your suggestion on that. Some of you suggested that to me. And in looking at the site, I know I want to use the grading option for family. I'm thinking we'll do the plus plan, but have you all found that the premium level of service to be more helpful? I see they have a mastery bank of extra problems with that level, but we've used IXL for years to supplement our work across all of our subjects, including Spanish. So I'm wondering if that would be helpful, if I should keep my $20 and just keep using IXL for that extra practice. Now, I see that Saxon Math and Oak Meadow Math start with mental math, and we also like to start with games. We used to use Right Start Math, but we still reach for our game book from Right Start Math and the manipulatives to reinforce concepts in a fun way. And playing math games with my guys is one of my favorite parts of our math studies. along with introducing new concepts or reinforcing concepts through books like this one. And I know that my guys are getting older, but I still think it's sweet to learn math through stories this way. For logic, we'll continue working through the Fallacy Detective, 38 lessons on how to recognize bad reasoning. He started this even though I wanted to wait, but we started this and we've worked through the first 3 lessons. We'll probably only get to this 2 or 3 times during our daily digs in the morning. But when we finish this, I plan to pick up the basics of critical thinking. Do you all have a favorite logic or critical thinking resource? Let me know in the comments below. He's also been interested in learning about investing. And we've had this book, we've worked through it together a little bit, but I just don't think he was quite there or all that interested with it. His brother has read this a couple of times, and I think, now he's interested. So he's going to work through this one first, along with some other books on our shelves about finance, as well as continue to do more research on Greenlight's website, which is a debit card money app that we've used for years to pay the kids for their chores and extra tasks, and to help them learn how to manage their money, save and donate, and now invest. And he's been using them to learn and decide what he wants to invest in. His older brother's been doing pretty well with it. I'm proud of him. And so I look forward to hearing their conversations as Cameron is learning more. Now, for history and English in Oak Meadow, they take an interdisciplinary approach to these subjects that allow students to apply their language arts skills to historical topics, reinforcing their understanding of both of the skills and information that they're learning. So, for example, in English, he might write a short story or read a novel based on the time period being discussed, which is ancient history this year. And this will be the second time or cycle that my 6th grader has been through ancient history in our homeschool. And it's honestly not his favorite, or it wasn't his favorite, but I think he'll enjoy learning through this level of Oak Meadow. I've done this level again with my oldest, and I felt like it was really fast paced, and it was challenging for him to go deep with the assignments and projects. So we're going to slow it down this year, and I'm going to have this kiddo choose 1 to 2 written assignments and 1 actual project or illustration to do each week, so that we can, again, dive a little bit deeper and focus on the topics that he's interested in and the assignments he chooses to do. We'll also be adding to our timeline book from Bookshark. We've had this for a couple of years, but this will be the first time he's using this book with this ancient history time period. Now for English, let me say this. Whenever I'm starting a new curriculum, I've learned to try to use it as the writers and publishers have intended. I feel like it's hard for me to say that a curriculum does or doesn't work if I don't fully use it. Now that I have been through this with my oldest, and I started out at least fully using it the way it was intended, and I've used Oak Meadow for almost 2 years now, I feel like I have a sense of what parts will work for us and what I can tweak without taking away from this curriculum that we think is awesome. So from Oak Meadow, we will be using grammar studies and the bigger writing projects, as well as the novel studies. And I'll say most of the novel studies. And I'll say that because I'll probably end up replacing a few with graphic novels. My oldest could not get through Robin Hood or a few of these other books. He just wasn't all that interested. So we replaced them, or we watched movies on them, and that was okay. We also brought in other books to enhance Black history and other parts of ancient history that he was interested in. Now, along with the end of reading questions and assignments in Oak Meadow to go along with the novels, we'll use Not Consume's middle school reading journal to dive a little bit deeper as he's reading. And we've never used these before. I'm pretty sure they're new and haven't been out, but I think they're going to make a great addition to our homeschool without being overwhelming to incorporate. And that is what I really appreciate about supplements that we use. Now we'll be incorporating a few other add-ons or supplements or complements to our English. As I said, we're going to be using the grammar portion to focus on learning new concepts or going deeper with concepts in Oak Meadow. But for daily review, we'll use Daily Gram 6. And I like to get the teacher edition because it has the answers in the back. But this will be the third year that we have used this alongside Oak Meadow, and I think it complements it really well, again, without being overwhelming and adding too much to our day. I was actually able to pick this one up used as well, so that was a win. Now, for vocabulary and spelling, we won't use it as it's intended in Oak Meadow, but we will be using root words for vocabulary. And some of the things that they ask them to do in Oak Meadow, they're doing in root words. They're defining the word parts. They're writing sentences to define the word through the sentences. And we've used a couple of workbooks from the Critical Thinking Company. And I just want to say, if you've not tried them, they are excellent. You can use them as standalone curriculum, and they're also easy to incorporate with other curricula. Now for spelling, we just started using Spelling UC this year, this semester. And I'm liking it because I'm not having to come up with copy work and dictation. And I think it's helped not only with the spelling, but also just slowing down and giving attention to detail. So we'll be using this again with the ancient achievements level with the ancient history to go along with this time period in Oak Meadow. For writing, we will again use the larger writing assignments and research papers from Oak Meadow, but we're also going to continue with Write Shop 1 and probably start Write Shop 2. And I like it because it's so incremental in teaching writing, and it offers me a lot of support in teaching my little writers and grading composition. There's just no fuss with it, and I love the flow. Now, most everything else I'm sharing is going to be outsourced or independently worked through by Cam, like science. And he's going to be studying life science through a local homeschool school. And he'll have homework, he'll have tests, projects, presentations. So we won't do a ton with Oak Meadow at home unless it's reinforcing what he's learning there or help with a project or something like that. And that's what we did this year, and that worked out well. For Spanish, he's going to continue his live classes that are taught twice a week. And I believe the program is called Online Spanish for Kids. I think I'm saying that right, but I'm linking it below just in case you are looking for some Spanish lessons. And we'll be using this book as well. And I like that it has an audio component. Now he's going to continue with learning about coding and computer science through some of the resources that we already have on our shelves, like these books, and through classes at a local coding center. His brother read through this computer science and coding book a couple of years ago, I think in his 6th grade year, and found it really helpful. Now he's also going to continue through 4-H, and fingers crossed we can find a local photography class. And again, we're going to be signing him up for basketball, which starts in a few weeks, and possibly swim in the fall. At home, he'll be continuing cooking, learning to edit, and whatever else he's led to explore. And I hope that me sharing all of this does not overwhelm you. We're not going to be doing all the things every day, all day. We're going to spread it out, and we're going to work at our pace, and we're going to get through what we get through. No pressure, just steady. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Share in the comments with me. Like, subscribe.